Okay, how is everybody? Can you see me? Can you hear me? In the comments, let me know. My wife is behind me, so maybe she can monitor. Steph, can you hear me?
I can hear you now. You just started.
Okay, great. I'm a little blurry. Blurry in what way? Oh, okay, hang on. How blurry am I? Because on my screen, I'm fuzzy. I can see you a little blur, not super sharp. Okay, let's see here. Am I better? Let's hope that this gets better as we go. Hello, people. Hello. Oh, there's quite a few of you in here. We got Matt Canterbury, we got Preston, we got Paige, we got Matt again. He said yes and yes. I'm so glad everybody can see me. This is great. Paige is in here. The stream looks better. Thank you. Great. Okay, great. Chris is here. Kenneth is here. Awesome. Slowly getting better. Hopefully it does get better as we go on. So we're actually in a new room. We moved down the hall, still kept the old space, just added this new space. We're just doing this is now our editing space, which is great. And this is where I'm live streaming now too. So that's awesome. And I have a giant window right to my right. So don't even need to set up lights. It's perfect. But anyway, let me take off these comments here that are just hanging out on screen. If at any point you can't hear me, you can't see me, please let me know, and we will fix this. Paige says hello, Steph. I don't know if you can see that. Steph, can you see the comments and all that stuff on your end? You can't comment. You should just start your own YouTube channel, Steph. So you can't. So Steph apparently doesn't have a YouTube channel. No, you do. She's gonna figure that out so that she can monitor all of this. And yeah. Anyway, I'm gonna be editing a wedding today from this past Saturday. I'll be using Batch.AI to hopefully make this go much quicker, and should be some fun. Should be a good time. At least I hope it's going to be a good time. If you have any questions about anything that I'm doing, please let me know. And if you haven't heard of Batch.AI, I went over this, and it's okay. Great, my wife is now here. She's figured out how to make a YouTube channel, so that's good. That's perfect. What's up, Anthony? How you doing, man? Yeah, so if you haven't heard of Batch.AI, I did make a video about this. I guess it was last week or 2 weeks ago that went out. So you can check out that video on my channel when we're done the stream or something. But and I also did a live stream in my membership about Batch.AI a bit too. But if you don't know, it is an AI powered thing, this plugin for Lightroom, which is awesome. And yeah, we're gonna see how well this works in real time, Preston. I'm really hoping that it goes well. I've already tagged everything, and I'm gonna show you how this works here. So actually, let's just dive in to Lightroom here, and there's gonna be a little bit of screen inception, I think, for a moment. But give me a second while we pull this up. I'm still very new to this whole live stream thing. It's a weird thing for me still. All right, screen inception happening. There it is. Wonderful. Okay, so Batch.AI. If you're interested in Batch.AI, there should be a link in the description of this video where you can sign up. You'll get 500 free images to start. Essentially, you can come to this site, you can download the plugin, and you can give it a try for yourself. I'm going to show you how all of this works here in just a moment. Let's hop over to Lightroom. Okay, so we're in Lightroom, which is great. Would you guys like to see my face while we're here? Maybe we can do this. That's better. Great. Is that better? Cool. I realize I actually can't even monitor comments because I'm in a different program. Steph can do it. Actually, let me see if I can pull this up on my iPad here, and we can try and monitor comments while we're going. The two of us. StreamYard.com. Great, perfect. Let's enter. Yeah, this is still very new for me, so thank you for your patience with me as I figure all of this out. All right, we up in here.
Great.
Great. Shy's here. I hope I said your name right. Shy's here, so that's awesome. Let me remove my stuff. Goodness gracious, I am having a hard time. I am all. What's that? There's 2 of me. Is it gone? Oh, now I'm good. There we go. Great. Good. Wonderful. Great. We figured it out. Good. Now I can see your comments. So this is great. Okay, so in Lightroom here, this is my full wedding. I've already done the culling. I've already, done some of the legwork here. The way Batch.AI works is you want to come into Lightroom after you've culled all your images, and you want to tag the first image of like each section, 1 to 2 images of each new lighting setup, each new location, that sort of thing. And these are going to be your anchor images. Now, these anchor images are going to be like reference images for the AI to edit like you, which is super dope. It's unlike anything else because they're using your edits. It can only edit as well as you can edit. It can't edit any better than you. And so it's just editing like you instead of trying to make it like its own thing. So this is awesome. So I've already gone through and starred all of the images that I'm going to edit first. Of all of the, there's 1,151 photos in this Lightroom gallery right now. That's how many I will likely deliver. Probably maybe a little bit less. As I go through, I tend to find duplicates and delete accidental culled photos. But of the 1,100 images here, I've only tagged 147. So I'm going to put this through like its paces here and see how well it does, because I've selected like a tenth of how many photos I'm going to deliver and have this thing edit. So we're going to see how this goes. If you have downloaded Batch.AI, the way to install this, they have a really great guide on how to install this, but essentially you'll download it, unzip the folder, go to File, you're going to go to Plugin Manager, you're going to click Add, you're going to find the folder, you're going to click this button, and then you're going to hit Done. And then it's in there, and then you just got to sign in and do your thing. That's pretty much it. Again, if you want to see how to do all of that, go to the link in the description, or actually, it's on my channel, somewhere on my channel. You'll see it. I'm pointing to the thing. You'll see it. It's great. Okay, so let's just get to editing here, and we'll dive right in. This is great. Chris asked if I wouldn't mind sharing my Lightroom organization process at some point, like how you use stars, colors, flags. Yeah, totally. I'm very unorganized, I think, actually, when it comes down to Lightroom organization. I pretty much just import everything at once, and I don't really star anything other than these anchor images when I'm using Batch.AI. And then after I'm done editing all the images, I'll go back through and I'll tag all of my blog images green, and we'll export those out separately. And then anything that needs to be like taken into Photoshop will be flagged as red. And that's pretty much it. I don't do much else other than that. We base a lot of like our album stuff off of the blog images, and so that's kind of like a dual tag. But yeah, my Lightroom organization process really isn't. It is really like almost non-existent. So yeah. Today I will be using. I started using these profiles from the Archetype process. They're film profiles. I love them. I've kind of merged their profiles with my like standard editing presets, and it just gives me a look I wasn't able to achieve before. And yeah, so that's what I'm using here, and it's wonderful. It's great. I'm in love with them. So check out the Archetype process for some really cool film stock profiles, things like that. And profiles are different than like standard presets because they utilize like the profile tab here on the right. And you can actually dial up the amount and like really make it look awful. Or if you keep it around 100, it looks pretty good in my case. But they have all of these different scans of different film stocks, and yeah, it's a really, really great profile set. Expensive, but really, really great. Love them so far, and I just kind of bought them to try them out. But yeah, fell in love with it. It's pretty great. So we're just going through, and we're just gonna edit as best as we can. And to be honest, a lot of these beginning ones are gonna end up turning black and white because I don't use a whole lot of color in my getting ready photos here. and we're just trying to get the color right. I'm not like insanely worried about the like crop or the straightening. Like you can see, this is like a little wonky looking. I'll likely come back through and fix that later on. For now, we just want to be able to tell the AI how we want to edit these photos. Turn this down. It's looking a bit orangey. Yeah, I did change the white balance on that one, Matt. Let's see, just want to dial this back. And there's no really like right or wrong way to edit these. It's just like everything is going to be a little bit different. This was a great wedding day, but it was really tough. There's a lot of different lighting setups because it was really rainy and the space, there's just like a lot of indoor orange lights and like things like that. And so there's just some stuff that we gotta fix here and there, but it was a pretty rainy wedding day. Thanks, Preston. The dope perspective. Yeah, it was a kind of a hard section to shoot in because there was this lamp here. You can see at the top. This was like in a stairway, and I couldn't shoot from above because this entire lamp blocked the dress. So I had to go below. But it's cool stuff like that forces me to get creative with the perspectives and all of that stuff. So. There we go. Oh, it's been a while since I've been in the editing room. This was our first wedding back, and very excited to be back doing this. But yeah, and no, there's been no flash used yet. That's a really great question, Matt. No flash has been used quite yet. We will use flash a little bit later on, mainly for like family pictures, and actually I'm gonna turn my balance off, I think. And for the reception mainly, but most of this day honestly is just shot with natural light from the space. Pretty much it, you know. So this is all natural light in the space. We're gonna move this over a bit. And to be honest, this is gonna be the bulk of our time editing these anchor images, and then hoping to God that it syncs properly. And honestly, to make this a little bit easier on myself, I may actually come into the metadata here, and we may just go by lens. That way things are looking a little bit more consistent from camera to camera. Finish show. And we keep every type. I mean, if there's a funny face like this, like we think that they'd laugh at or like to have, and like we'll keep it to make for a good. And a lot, like I said, a lot of these are gonna end up turning black and white, but I am editing them in color. That way I can go back after we're done syncing everything with Batch.AI, and we can turn the images I want black and white. So. My natural light photos look insanely better than mine. It's just learning like how to use the light in the space, and editing makes a huge difference. Certain editing styles are, honestly, these profiles have really helped the natural light look of things. I mean, without this on, this is what this looks like. Like it just looks really flat. So these profiles do quite a bit to add a lot of richness to the photo. But man, we've also been shooting for so long too. So there's been a lot of practice and a lot of time developing the style. Shy, new subscriber, glad you're here. Thanks for the sub. Yeah, we're using the Sony A7 IIIs for this wedding. Love the Sonys, and I mean, that's a pretty entry-level camera as far as Sony cameras go, and pretty affordable, and it's so great for wedding photographers. So we love the Sonys. We used to shoot Canon, switched over to Sony a couple years ago, before Canon followed the mirrorless craze, and now we're too invested in Sony to go back to Canon, but we love the Sonys. All right, we're just gonna keep copying the setting from previous photos here. Thanks for asking that, Shai. That's super helpful. I forgot to mention that at the beginning. What are you guys all shooting? Let me know in the comments. What do you guys shoot with? Our bride Grace here. These aren't even like, these 3 star tags aren't even like the best photos, okay? These are just like the beginning of each section. Until we're done editing all of these, we'll go back and show you the other photos here. Do you guys see this? So this stairwell had the best window light, but that lamp I talked about that was blocking the wedding dress, they were actually LED lights, and you can actually see our shutter speed was at 1/1000, and you can see from like here, this little section where like mom's head is, this is the section in color, and then the rest of it, there's like this flicker almost. And so we're gonna have to counteract that in some way. I'm not 100% sure how to fix that. If any of you guys have ideas, let me know. That's something I'm going to do a little bit later. I don't want to mess with Batch's syncing ability and their editing ability. We'll do that a little bit later, but that was a problem that we had. All right, you guys are using the 6D Mark II and one as a backup. That's awesome. Oh, you got the A9. I might have to play with that when I see you in July at a wedding. That might be fun. I'm looking forward to that. Shai's using the Fuji X-T3, awesome camera. Matt's using the R5. Kenneth is R5. That's dope. Awesome, guys. Yeah, we probably, if we stuck with Canon, we probably would be using the R5s right now, or R6s, whichever one. I don't follow Canon too closely anymore, but whatever is the better version of those 2 cameras, we'd probably be using. One of the reasons we went with Sony was because of their video feature. Like, we do photo and video a lot, and so we needed a mirrorless camera that had great autofocus, and that was what we went with, was the Sony a7 III, because it was really affordable. How's the stream looking? Are we still clear here? We're still clear? Great. What about the gradient filter? That's what I'm thinking, Paige. I think we'll use a gradient filter to kind of bring the shadows up on the bottom and then bring the shadows up on the top. That's kind of what I was thinking, but yeah. And no, Chris, we were not using silent shutter for that. I know you get some flicker when there's silent shutter. Thankfully we weren't. Oh, I see, Steph, you just answered that, but yeah, I try and stay off silent shutter actually, a lot, because I find I run into that issue pretty frequently. It's best used outside. But yeah, in here we didn't use silent shutter at all, I don't think, on this. Okay. You can see just a lot of different colored light in this space. Just a lot of light, a lot of different colors. Leave that there. And like this photo here, this 100 is a 100% black and white photo that I'm going to do later. It's just going to look better. The emotion's going to be more real. I'm kind of keeping, in mind what that's going to be. Don't need to make the decision now. All right, we're outside. Like I said, it rained. It rained a lot. Hopefully it was like a constant drizzle sort of thing. But it rained nonetheless. And rain doesn't really stress me out anymore. It stresses me out when we have to do photo and video like we did on this day, but most of the time, if I'm just shooting photos, it doesn't really stress me out that much. It's taking me a while to get to that place, but right, this video really is awesome. Ask away. Feel free to ask. The more things I have to talk about instead of like just trying to vamp here is actually great. So the more questions you have, the better. Well, it depends on the rain. Here I did not cover this camera specifically, but I was also running around with a gimbal camera, and I did cover that with my jacket. So yes, that did happen. Because it was just going to be sitting out in the rain, I was able to kind of cover this camera a bit while I was not shooting because it was like directly attached to me. But when I'm like holding a gimbal, I didn't want the gimbal to break, and I didn't want the mic pack to break, and I didn't want the camera itself to break. So I kind of covered that with my jacket. Something I should have had him do before we did this first look. You can see he has a phone in his pocket and a wallet on this side. I forgot to ask him to take those out. So lesson learned there. Thankfully, you probably didn't even notice until I brought that up. But yeah, so that's something I forget to do sometimes, to ask him to take them out. I think at one point, actually, I do end up asking him to remove his phone, but yeah, we did bring plastic bags, as Steph mentioned. The plastic bags do come in handy if we really need to cover a camera and we're stuck outside. A few years ago, we were caught in the rain. It was a super nice day. We were in like these backwoods of Connecticut shooting a wedding, and super nice day. It was pretty humid. It was August, and this was early on in our career, so we were not really smart with bringing backup cameras and stuff like that. But in the middle of the ceremony, it decided to dump rain on us, like torrential downpour, and that was a good old time because my 5D Mark III just completely, it died. It killed itself. It was not very happy after that. I had to get that fixed. I think I got that fixed. I don't think I bought a new one, but yeah, so we were stuck using one camera for the rest of that wedding. Lesson learned. Bring a backup camera. You never know.
We have a backup camera for every wedding now, right?
I think we have multiple backup cameras for every wedding now. I have like backup cameras for video. I have backup cameras for, like, you and I each will bring. We have 4 Sony A7 IIIs, and then we have an A6500. So the chances of like 2 or 3 cameras breaking is not high. And then we sometimes bring a backup Canon 5D. And so like I just want to cover my bases because sometimes you just never know what's going to happen. If it can go wrong, it will go wrong. At some point, that will happen. You can definitely see the rain in some of these photos. It is certainly coming down. If you want to see the behind-the-scenes photo for this picture, it might still be in my Instagram story. I am in a set of bushes for this photo because I miscalculated how big this bridal party was and how spread out they needed to be with the umbrellas. So I am in the bushes in this one here. Lando is definitely what we're naming our kid, for sure. We toyed with Jabba the Hutt as well, but we just sure that was right. He definitely got made fun of, that's for sure. I like the umbrellas. The umbrellas turned out nice here. And there's not much you can do, you know, like you just kind of have to embrace the weather, like just kind of go with the flow here. You're not, I mean, you can't control it, so you just gotta let it go. And Grace was really good with that. I'm thankful for. You can see Grace is actually, her eyes are closed in this photo. And I've tagged it red here because later on I need to go do an eye swap here on this photo because her sister's eyes are not looking directly at me, but Grace's eyes are now open. So we're gonna have to do a little eye swap later on. But we're gonna have Batch edit this set of photos here too. But we'll keep it. And that's something I tagged during the culling process. I knew that was gonna be the case going in. Did you guys shoot any weddings this weekend? Did you have any shoots going on? So how did they go? I'd love to know. And Matt, keep asking away. If you get more questions, go for it. Whoa, sorry, we just went full screen. Go. That's it, Baby Ben Solo Blizzard. Yes, that's definitely the name. Kylo Ren for short. Yeah, no. I didn't say anything about Ben, so that... It's not Ben, by the way. Sorry, y'all. If you're late to the game and wondering what Paige is referencing, Steph is 30 weeks pregnant. I don't know what that is in months, but 7.5 months. Yeah, so we are having a kid due on July 17th. We got a wedding 2 days before then, so it's be interesting. Preston's actually coming out and shooting with us then, so that will be awesome. I'm having a hard time with these greens here. Let's keep that there. That'll be sweet. First wedding of the year is Sunday. Looks like thunderstorms all day. Look, we are gonna be in that boat too. We have a wedding on Saturday, and I'm pretty sure we're gonna get rained on. But you know, fingers crossed. Fingers crossed we won't. Who knows? I'm having a hard time with this. When the first photo when the photo first loads in, it seems to automatically change to a better color. Is that programmed in, or are you really fast at click? I'm very fast at clicking buttons. Yeah, so pretty much what I'm doing is, like for instance, I'll go back to this photo here. I'm copying it, Command C. You can see all these settings I'm copying. And then when I click to the next photo, like this was the previous photo. When I go to the next photo, I'm almost hitting the right arrow key and the Command V, the paste button, like simultaneously, so that it loads in pretty quickly. I've edited thousands of photos at this point in Lightroom, and the muscle memory is, it's there. So I'm pretty quick with that, but I'll try and slow it down for you guys a little bit. That way you can see the before. Good shot. Again, copy. I'll wait a minute to paste. That's probably a little bit easier for you guys to see the before and after. So for something like this, we really just again, we just like was very go with the flow. We wanted to make sure that Vince and Grace are really comfortable on the day. Want to make sure they were having a good time, and want to make sure that they didn't want to do anything that they didn't do anything that they didn't want to do. And so we never like really pressured them too hard to go and go back outside in the rain or go do things. We just kind of left it up to them. We like to give them the best option. So I said, like, we could go and shoot around upstairs. Totally fine doing that. But from a lighting perspective, it's not the best. The best lighting is going to be outside, even though it's raining, and it's not raining that hard. So whatever you decide to do is cool with us. And she was like, screw it, let's go outside, let's do it. And I think it really was the right choice. Like, this is so pretty. What is birthday buddies? What does that mean? I missed something. Oh, match July 19th. Awesome. Oh, Preston, please, if I get the call that I need to go and leave in the middle of the wedding day, please get photos of that. That would be really, really cool. That would be really, really cool. But fingers crossed that doesn't happen at all. I would really much prefer to not have to leave in the middle of the day. But it would be cool if it does happen. So let's hope you're there. So I'll come find you if you're not near me. If I get a call from Steph. Steph is saying she should just call me randomly throughout the day and freak me out. Oh my gosh, so mean. All right, so we're gonna see if I can select her dress to get more accurate. Actually, his shirt was pretty light. As popular as this venue is, they don't have like a very good rain backup plan. I mean, things just get moved inside, but there's not really a place you can shoot other than the lobby. And the lighting is not the best, and we just, because we're doing photo and video, like, we didn't just use a flash, because then there's a bunch of flashes going off in the video, and it's just, yeah, it's a difficult thing. But these look great. I think again, a lot of these may turn black and white here. These were grandparents here. Yeah. Into family pictures now. And this is now when we started using flash. So I have 2 flashes on stands, off-camera flash, and 1 on camera. And they have mag spheres on. And Shai, I'll get to your question in just a second here. 2 flashes on stands, 280 200s from Godox. They both have mag spheres on, and they're just pointing up. This room was like, had lower ceilings and white ceilings, so they're kind of just, I'm probably maybe 10 feet away from the bride and groom, and they're to my right on the side aisles, and they're kind of angled in at 45 degrees towards the couple. You can kind of see if I zoom into, oh my gosh, I forgot how to use Lightroom. If I zoom into their eyes here, you can actually see the catch light. There's 3 catch lights in their eyes, and these are the 3 flashes that I'm using. But yeah, to my right and to my left, bouncing off the ceiling, pointed towards the couple, is how we lit these. We didn't have a ton of time, so that was like the quickest lighting setup that we could do. And I needed to actually copy the white balance here. So this is also the reception space. Right in front of this fireplace was very nice. Let me get to Shai's question here. Shai's asking rough estimate, how many weddings you think you have done? I'm doing one on July 5th, and they still stress me out so much. Your photos are amazing. Thank you so much. We've shot, I need to add it up because I lose count. I think I add it up at the end of every year, and I always forget. I think we're probably a little bit over 150 by this point. We take on just a few weddings every year. Is the wrong? Should just paste that again. Taking a few weddings every year. I don't want to shoot like 60 weddings a year and shoot like a ton of weddings. I'd rather shoot it's a very crooked photo. I don't know what I was doing. I'd rather shoot like a handful of weddings a year for 25, 30 couples. Keep it personal, not burn myself out, because that exists. It's a real thing. It has happened. It is no fun. And yeah, so this year we're doing around 30. Let's 30 just feels right for us, depending on how many photo video gigs we have. But I think around I think there's around 12 photo and video weddings this year. Right, Steph? Around 12? How many photo video weddings do we have this year, do you think? 12-ish? It feels like a lot more than that, but no, I don't. I like, look, as great as Taylor is at shooting and batching weddings, like he's a machine. I really don't want to do that. It's just so many weddings. Good on him for being able to do it, but it's not for me. I'm like, I'd rather raise price and take a really few select weddings every year and try and shoot 60. Like, you'd have no weekends. I like my weekends, especially since we're becoming parents soon. Like, I'm thinking long term here. Like, I don't want to shoot 60 weddings every year when I have kids, because I want to be able to see my kids on the weekend. We're gonna keep it like 30 or less, and then we'll add associates if we need to. And we have one team already who are shooting a few weddings for us this year. But you know, I don't need some giant business. I just need something that's gonna pay the bills, allow us to live comfortably, and shoot for really awesome people, and not feel overworked or burned out. So, but 22 I had last year killed me, so I took less for this year. That's awesome. Yeah, like definitely like when you limit yourself, it means you can raise your prices, because you're allowed to be more selective with the weddings that you're taking, you know. All right, so this is, now we're into the ceremony here, and we didn't use any flash for this ceremony. We wanted to keep it pretty natural. But you can see it is dark. My ISO is 2500, and I'm opened up to 1.8 with a shutter of 1/200, and it's dark. So we're gonna be doing some noise reduction in here. I like the look. Flash sometimes just feels too artificial, and it is definitely invasive. Like you said, Steph, it's definitely invasive. Like as a guest sitting there and you're just seeing flashes go off, like it's a lot. So we were like, let's just keep it natural here. Let me bump this up. Things are looking a little warm, so I'm just trying to cool down the highlights a little bit. I mean, that's a huge difference. Massive difference. Forgot the noise reduce. Hang on. Yeah, Paige, you did have a new baby when you were on those weddings, so that's hard. There we go. That is awesome. Look at this before and after with the noise reduction on and off. I don't know if you can even see that, but it is a huge difference. I'm not too worried about grain either. Again, a lot of these photos, because there are so many different colors and the light isn't like most flattering, a lot of these are going to be in black and white. And grain is a little bit more acceptable when it's in black and white, because it just looks a little more gritty and real and raw. And so yeah, we're gonna probably turn a lot of this black and white, and it's just gonna take the photos up a notch. It's gonna be great. I've never thought about that being satisfying, but yeah, I mean, it sounds like it actually would be. If I were the one watching it, that makes a lot of sense. Because I'm the one doing it, it feels, I'm like concentrating quite a bit to make sure that the white balance is right. I can't figure out though. This wall looks really blue behind them. Let's see. No, this will probably be black and white anyway, so not a big deal. Hey Steph, you made the photo. Look at you. Yeah, you did. I probably won't Photoshop you out either. I don't know. Grace really liked you. I said Grace really liked you, so this one I actually may end up Photoshopping you out of.
My sneakers.
Your sneakers. Look, you're allowed to get away with anything when you're pregnant. All right, Matt. Yeah, feel free to keep up if you can. If not, no worries. Glad you're here, man. When I dive into editing, I don't think of it either, but wow, it's like biting into some waffles. Oh my gosh, I never thought about it being satisfying, but yeah, you are totally right. I don't watch live stream edits, but maybe I'm gonna have to just feel the satisfaction of fixing white balance. You can see as I'm going through here, like I'm editing pretty quickly, and like there's a lot of moments, a lot of photos that are missing, and it's because again I'm just editing these anchors right now. So you'll see after I run Batch.AI just how well it does, and then we'll go back through and tweak those photos individually. I'm still just doing my camera here. I still have to go back and go through Steph's camera, which will have fewer photos than mine, but still a process. And I'll probably base her edits off of my camera's edits. But we'll see. This is I'm getting back into the swing of things here because we haven't had a wedding for quite a while. I mean, we have one in March, but it was a much smaller wedding, and I wasn't live streaming the edit, so I don't have to like multitask while I do it. And these are gonna be black and white. They're just gonna look so great in black and white. Of the thumbs up. Steph, your way to keep the Photoshop out. I know, but I have to. I think I have to on that one. Thanks, Angel and Michael. That's so nice of you. Aaron's saying, hope you're having a great day. I am. Thank you so much. Here a little late. How about how many anchors do you edit before you run it? So I edit probably around 10 to 15%. These are the fewest amount of anchors that I've ever selected for a shoot. So I'm kind of putting it to the test today to see how well it does with as few anchors as possible. And we'll see how it goes. I'm a little nervous that it won't work the way I'm thinking. And if it doesn't work, then it's just probably because I grabbed either the wrong photos or I grabbed too few of photos. Again, this is like my third time using Batch, and I want to just kind of figure out the best way to use it. And that means experimenting and taking a little bit of risk with, how many photos I'm grabbing. But I think it'll work. I'm gonna be real. I think it'll work. Shai's asking, do you have a set editing style? I struggle with finding a style that I can be consistent in. I'm editing in just very natural, clean, timeless looking edits. I just want to make sure that the photos that personally that I want to deliver are gonna look great now, and they're gonna look great in 50 years. I also love the look of film, but I don't want to shoot film on the wedding day because that seems like a really big stressor. And so I have these profiles that I mentioned from the Archetype process, and those have been really great in giving me like a really clean look. So as far as my editing style goes, I mean, it will change depending on the shoot. I did an engagement session in a really cool like Art Deco moody hotel lobby in December, and I was like, this clean looking film style isn't going to work, so I went a little bit more moody for it, and that was the right choice. And so my style will change with the shoot, but a lot of the times it's still giving you like a clean, classic, timeless look. That's the goal anyway for me. Really clean edits, really clean colors. Actually, I want to keep some of the saxophone player in here. There we go. Great question. You should just edit all of my wedding photos for me going forward, you know, if you get bored. Hey, you know, Batch.AI can do that for you. It's a game changer, and hopefully you'll see it work really, really well in this video. Again, there should be a link to Batch.AI down in the description. You can get 500 free photos when you sign up there and test it out for yourself. Really great to test it out on like an engagement shoot, something that's a little bit more low key, not as once in a lifetime style photos, even though they kind of are. But you can always go back and tweak the photos. It's easier to tweak 300 photos if it messes up rather than tweaking like 1100, you know. We still got noise reduction on, so that's good. Ooh, satisfying. That one was satisfying. All right, we're back to the reception here, and we're using Flash now. Pretty much from here on out is Flash is being used. He's on this image here, I think. Waffles, yeah. There we go. There are the clean edits. No haze anymore. Once we're in the reception, I tend to I feel like I make my photos like a little bit more contrasty. Underexposed. I mean, the lighting is obviously way more contrasty, and that plays a big part in it, of course, but I'm not trying to keep like a light and airy look specifically for every photo. I'm just doing what feels right for the photo, but trying to keep the colors and overall exposure as clean as possible and consistent as possible. And this bridesmaid is Julia, and we're actually shooting her wedding in October of this year. All right. Yeah, so this photo here that you're talking about, let me go back to it. This one here. Yeah, so the arm that's there, it doesn't bother me a whole lot. I mean, this is probably a better image. I know that I'm going to go back through most of these one by one and tweak the edits or just make sure that everything is the way I want it to be. And I'm going to go through again and like just straighten the cropping, make sure all of that is good. It doesn't bother me all that much, but you're right, this is definitely a stronger image. I'm going through these pretty quickly, so I'm not spending like a ton of time looking at each anchor image individually right now, just making sure that the color and all that stuff is the way I want it, so that Batch can run it and everything can be edited quickly. And then again, we'll go through and just make sure that everything looks good. The reception flash setup look like? Gels, light stands, mag spheres. Yeah, great question. Okay, so let's see if I can give you a general idea here. Actually, this image is good a good image to show you. So we were pretty limited on where we could put our flash stands because of the amount of people at this wedding in this room. We're gonna crop this in just a bit. But back here on the left, pretty much directly behind Vince here, is a flash on stand with a mag sphere, and there's also a video light there as well. And then back over here, let me see if I can find this photo here. Over here, just past this gentleman on the right here with his brown shoes and stuff like that to the right, that is where another flash stand is. And so pretty much they're pointing like towards the dance floor. One is a hair light and one is like a key light. And depending on where you're standing, they could be either or. So in this case, the flash is directly behind my camera, and it is a key light, but the flash is directly behind him also, and it's acting as a hair light. You can see this rim here on Vince's head, but we also get a little bit of haze when we do that. So to counteract that, we end up shooting in between those flash stands, and you get a really nice contrasted image, really nice flattering light. In this case, they didn't rotate all that much when they were dancing, and so Vince ended up blocking the key light for Grace here, which is what some of the shadow is. We're just kind of stuck with that, and so when we move here, you have a light kind of to the right of me, and then you have another light back here behind Vince, and then we also have a flash on camera that can act as a fill. And so we have a 3-point lighting setup right now that isn't really acting as a 3-point lighting setup in its best way, but yeah, it's kind of hard to explain without like me drawing out a diagram for you, but this is a good image to show you because the key light is hitting here, and then you can see on his head here, this is like the rim light that's coming from the flash over on the right. Anyway, long-winded answer there, but yeah, no gels, nothing like that, but everything's on light stands, 8200s from Godox, and then Max Gears as like the diffusion. And yeah, so that's typically what we do. It's a very simple setup for us, and it just makes everything look, I don't know, just really consistent and clean, and gives contrast. I like using on-camera flash, but I once I learned how to use off-camera flash and create dynamic images, it made everything so much better. We'll move this over here. There we go. I'm very excited to show Batch. I'm very excited. I'm not super nervous for some reason that it won't work, but I'm fairly confident in its ability. But because I haven't used it all that much, I don't know how it will go. I'm a little nervous about it. So okay, so we're done with my 50 mil here. That was the majority of the images. There was 82 images there. Let's pop into this camera. Oops, I'm still on the library module. There is not an option to do crop, but it will straighten with the transform tool here. So it will try and straighten out your images using the transform tool. There is not an option for crop. I kind of wish there was, but there's also like no shortcut for like an auto straighten. At least that I don't think there is. If there is, someone please tell me. But I would love a keyboard shortcut for like an auto straighten crop function. But as far as I know, there is not one. So it will straighten using the transform tool. I typically will leave that unchecked because I'll go back through every image and just make sure everything is straight, make sure everything is cropped the way I want it to be cropped. And that's essentially what I'm doing. But I treat Batch as if it was an outsourced editor, not expecting the editor to get everything right 100% the way I want it. And so when they send it back to me, I got to make sure that the edits are right and everything's consistent and the color is correct and the crop's the way I want it and things like that. The big reason Batch is great is because it takes all of the heavy lifting off my plate. I mean, I'm only going to have to edit hopefully 117 images, doing the heavy lifting there, and then I can just go through and like I get rid of the tedious copy paste part, and I'm just working on cropping and all of those things. So yeah, it's quite a lot, but it's definitely worth it from the time I've spent with Batch. So again, this image is going to be black and white, but we're just going to go right here. Ooh, that does not look great. Bring this way down. There we go. You can see there's so much there's so much grain in this image because it was a very fast capture for me. I didn't have really a whole lot of time to tweak settings. Yeah, we're gonna go back into this lens here and copy. So, I mean, we're coming up on an hour here, and I am editing fairly slowly because I'm chatting with you guys and multitasking here. Normally I like really whip through this. So don't take this as like a an actual like time thing. Like I edit much quicker than this, and you guys honestly probably edit much quicker than this as well, as long as you're not distracted and stuff like that. Yeah, so typically I will be able to edit like a full wedding in 3 hours, and that's including Batch doing its thing. Sometimes longer, depends on the wedding. Black and white. He gave me Johnny Depp vibes for some reason. Like modern day Captain Jack Sparrow with a bolo tie. Oh, this turned out great. Oh, this is awesome. All right. They weren't doing any sort of like send off, and so we wanted to make sure we got a shot for them. I may have to come back and actually let's just do it now. Also, the new AI detection in Lightroom for like masking is freaking amazing. Oh my goodness, so good. So good. Yeah, okay, so let me talk about how this range shot is set up. Essentially what I'm doing here, to give you an idea of settings, I'm at 1/200 for shutter, I'm at 2.8 for my aperture, I'm at ISO 250, and I'm on a 40mm lens. What I'm doing is I'm putting the flash behind them. You can actually see the stand. You can see the stand right here. And I have a plastic bag over top of it to avoid some of the rain damaging it. And then I have a mag sphere on it as well, and it's pointing like right towards like their waists, maybe a little bit higher. And I don't know what that is set to. I think it was probably honestly, it might have been 1/2 power, like really bright to get as much rain as possible. And what it's doing is it's backlighting the rain. It's giving them this rim light here and silhouetting them. And it's really, that's pretty much it. It's a one light setup. You want to make sure that whatever area you find is going to be like, it's going to be dark on their faces. Like even here, I mean, without the edit, there's not a whole lot of spill light happening on, you know, the sides of their faces facing me. So that's really it. It's just pretty much as simple of a silhouette shot as you can get. The easiest way to go about making silhouettes is to really just to expose for like the brightest area. And this flash is definitely overexposed for sure, but I needed that flash to really light up those raindrops. If you want to see a tutorial of this, let me know and I can try and make one for you guys on YouTube, and we'll get that creative. But this rain shot's really cool. It would have been even cooler if I brought a tripod out and did like a really long exposure and you had some like rain blur. That probably would have been fun to try. But I hope that explains the rain shot, Chris. I hope that was a good enough explanation. It's hard to explain things on the fly sometimes for me because I want to go into like a lot of detail and like show you, but it's yeah. And then what I'm doing here is I'm going into the masking tool and I'm just like darkening, you know, the front of them and increasing the highlights and making things pop a little bit more. And the AI subject detection they have now in Lightroom is really awesome. It means I don't have to like paint on them. It was such a pain before. And then for these dancing shots here, I'm using like a slower shutter. So on that last photo there, I'm at 1/40 for my shutter speed. And here I'm at 1/50, but there's not enough camera shake to get a little blur. All right, so we're done with the 40 mil here. Let's go back into 85. Oh, Preston, please come out. Spray with a hose and we'll make that video. That's such a great idea, actually. That's such a good idea. Let's do it. Okay, so what I want to do for this, I actually want to go back into my 50 and find the settings I used for the reception earlier. And we're going to copy and paste. Just to try and keep it as consistent as possible. I'm on an 85 millimeter now. And this ceremony was fast, so I like switched off. I was probably only on 85 for maybe 5 minutes or less. They really whipped through the ceremony. I didn't have the ability to open up as much as my 50. My 50 opens up to 1.4, and this opens up to 1.8. So I was missing just a little bit of light, but still does the trick. Still good in low light. I love using the 85. Oh, geez Louise, that's not good. Let's go back to the reception images. How do I get out of here? There we go. We're gonna pull the settings from the toasts. Probably an easier way to do this, but I don't know what it is. There we go. Matt is back. Yeah, you can rewatch this. So this will be this will stay on the channel here. You can always rewatch this. And it's my hope, like if you guys like this, it's my hope to do this, no promises, but hopefully every week. I think that'd be a lot of fun. I mean, I gotta edit these anyway, so. What are you ripping back there? It's fine, it's fine. How can I get the hands on the profiles you're using? Is there a website? There is a website. Let me go see if I can find it, and I can share it for you guys here. So these are film emulation profiles, and so there's still, I think, going to be some editing that needs to be done to make sure that it is like it's not like a one-click edit, as far as I know, especially for me. Whoa, I'm accidentally typing in the chat box. Let me go back to Lightroom. But it's a really, really cool set of profiles. I really enjoy using them. It gives me a look I just wasn't able to achieve on my own. Now I still love my presets. They still look timeless, and they still look, at least the ones I was using for weddings. But I just really am liking these profiles from Archetype process. Always trying to expand and try new things too with my editing, and so I had profiles for a while and just ended up diving in. So that's what I chose after finding a photographer on Instagram whose work I really liked, and went for it. So let me grab the settings from here. We're almost there, guys. Almost time to run batch. Almost time. We got maybe 40 images left, if that. Her earrings were really pretty. Okay, let's go into Steph's camera now. Actually, we'll do 70 to 2. Are you guys doing any edits today? Are you guys editing today from recent shoots or weddings, anything like that? Also, how can I get your presets? Yes, I can link to my presets here in a second. Oh no, there we go. All right, Matt, here's a link to my presets there. If you want my presets, trytoensurepresets.com. And if you want the archetype process profiles, the archetypeprocess.com. Paige says I should be editing. I feel that. I feel the procrastination. That's why I'm doing it now. So I don't. The longer I wait to like edit something, the less likely I'll be to edit it. That actually pretty much applies to anything for me. It was super dark in here. And all of these photos here, especially these 4 specifically, are going to end up being black and white images. But trick, still good. If the moment's good, it's worth keeping, regardless of how grainy, regardless of how blurry. Oh, maybe not how blurry, but regardless, if it's a little bit blurry and the moment's great, just keep the photo. The moment will always trump like the technical aspect of photography. It'll be black and white. It'll look much better in black and white. Yeah, it's we'll see how this works. I'm really hoping that it does a trick. I think I'm editing around 11% of what I need Batch to edit for me. So we'll see. When you make a black and white image, do you also give the client a color? Yeah. So most of the time I will copy. I'll make a copied version and share the color and black and white with the client, because I've had clients come back and ask, hey, can we have this photo in color? And I personally think it looks better in black and white, but I would rather not have to go back into Lightroom later and do all of that. So yeah, I tend to give both. Sorry, Steph's talking to me. I'm not quite sure. I am not quite sure. All right. Oops. Here we go. I'm confusing myself. Let me just go back to. Here we go. Oh, John Branch in the house. What's up, John? How are you? Seen you do live edits, man, and now I'm like, oh, I gotta be like John. Gotta do some live edits here. Dude, glad you're here. Thanks for popping in, man. I appreciate you being here. John, we still got to meet up in person one day, man. We got to collab on a video. Congrats on your success. I'm bummed I'm going to miss you later this year at Show at Spark. We've gone to the Show at United conference so often, and not going to be able to swing it this year, but they created this new thing called Spark, which opens up to like all of the creatives instead of just photographers. And John is speaking there, so go and catch him at Spark. What photo did I just copy? I am scatterbrained today. I am completely scatterbrained. copy this one. Okay, let's make sure that we just copy this again just to make sure. We're going to skip through here just real quick. I'll come back to a few photos later. For real, next time you're in the Philly area, or if I'm ever down in North Carolina, I will be sure to give you a shout. You were up in my neck of the woods not too long ago doing a portrait shoot. I was actually at that Philly Art Museum area that you were shooting at like 3 days before you were there. I was like, oh dang, I just missed John by a couple of days. John, are you in wedding season? Are you in the full swing right now? Has it started for you? When I edit, I typically use Camera Raw for absolutely everything and rarely use Lightroom. I feel like I may be doing things wrong. Oh, definitely get into Lightroom. Photoshop is going to take you way longer, I think, to get everything done. Lightroom is great because you can just batch everything. You can see the full timeline, and it uses Camera Raw as its like its machine. You know, it's pretty much the same. It's just the interface in Lightroom. To edit all of these photos in like a batch is so much better. John's tired. We're not quite there yet. This is the kind of the wedding that kicks off our season, but ask me again in 5 weeks and I will tell you the same thing. I mean, I woke up on the day after this wedding and my head had a heartbeat. I was down and out for a little bit. I was dehydrated for sure. But excited to be back. Excited to be back in it. Beer bottles in the edge of the frame. Goes out. Forever. You gotta get the lip tuck. Burr. Great movie. Just wait until the little guy gets here, then you'll really be tired. Yeah, no joke. That's what I keep hearing from every parent. I'm like, what did I get myself into here? I hear it's like the best thing ever, and also like you are gonna be very sad for a little while, and very tired. I'm like, I'm ready for it, but I'm not quite ready for it. Yeah, we're expecting July 14th, so July 17th. I don't know where I got the 14th from. I'm gonna be real, but it's I'm never gonna sleep again. See, I'm already tired. We're gonna sleep again. Don't wish that on me, John. John, you have a few kids, right? How many kids do you have? I want to say 3 for some reason, but you're a machine. You're pumping out videos. You're shooting weddings. I'm like, man, I have a hard enough time getting a video out a week. Sit down with you, and you gotta share your secrets with me. I'm like, you got 4 kids. Oh yeah, you're definitely not sleeping. I don't know how do you function? Share your secrets with me. I need your secrets. Both kids and YouTube. Oh my gosh. Steph, I'm now terrified, I think. I don't function well on like 8 hours of sleep. I get 8 hours of sleep pretty consistently. I still have a hard time. Sorry to rub that in, John, but yeah, I have a hard time functioning on 8 hours. I'm gonna live off a Red Bull, I think, for the first year. A little BTS action. Yeah, John, how old are the kids? Matt has 2 kids, works a full-time job at a chemical plant, and do photography every evening and weekends. Yeah, it's hard when you first start out, when like you're doing a whole lot of things all at once, trying to build your business, trying to make sure that you have enough income for your family, for yourself. It's difficult. It's difficult for sure. Worked retail for a little while before diving into weddings full time. Oh, nice quick apple, nice quick cannon. What am I doing? There we go. And it was a lot being working through the week and then shooting on weekends. And Steph didn't join me full time until 2019, right before the pandemic. So she was teaching at a school 5 days a week and then shooting on the weekend. She didn't even have a life. Yeah, 7-day work week. 8, 5, 2, and 5 months. Oh my gosh, so you have like a newborn, Nick. You are fresh. Oh, congrats, man. Man, you got your hands full. Oh, magic. On boys or girls? What's the ratio here? Man, I haven't read anything about becoming a parent either. I need Steph just signed us up for a class. I did really bad in school, so hopefully it's a private class apparently. Oh, it's go your own speed. Okay, that's great. My speed's pretty slow, I think. I hope I retain all the information. I'm worried about like reading all these things, learning all this stuff, and then forgetting about it in the moment. Oldest is a girl, 2 boys in the middle, and youngest is a girl. Okay, cool. So that's makes it easy, I think. Sandwich. Great. Yeah, I'm like, I want 2 kids. Anything more than 2 kids is like, I'm now outnumbered. I feel outnumbered with 1. Kids are real fun. Big adjustments, awesome fun. Yeah, we have a 1-year-old niece who's just so much fun to be with, and then almost a 2-year-old nephew who lives quite a bit of ways, but every time we see him, it's great seeing him. And yeah, we're really looking forward to the adjustment. Of course, it's going to be an adjustment, but looking forward to growing and expanding a bit. What she says, right? Yeah, we'll see. I have 2 other brothers, so I grew up in a family of 3, and 3 felt like a good number, but the 2, I don't feel like I don't know. We'll see what happens. But we're both on the same page, I think, as far as how many kids we want. See if that changes as the years go on, but we've been pretty set on that number for quite a while. See you, John. Thanks for hanging out, man. I appreciate you. Guys, if you don't follow John Branch, go check his channel out. I'm sure you guys have heard of John Branch by now. The man is a machine. He's great at pumping out awesome educational content for wedding photographers, and he is the man to follow on YouTube here. So go check out John's channel. Awesome dude. Thanks for being here, John. Right, we're overexposed here for sure, but what I like to do for cake cutting, just to add a little bit of extra flair, is I like to put the flash like directly behind the couple. I don't care too much about this stand in shot. Nothing really I can do about it other than trying to Photoshop it out, which just seems tediously unnecessary because all of the emotion, your eye is going right here. Again, this might be black and white too, but these turned out a little bit better, I think, on my camera than on Steph's camera, just because I had the right angle going, but it just adds a nice little extra layer of dimension. Guys, we're like 3 foot away from being able to run batch. I'm pretty excited about it, pretty nervous about it. We'll see how it goes, but we're getting ready here. We're about ready to go. We are about there. Who is excited? All right, here, there. Again, if it doesn't work, it's user error and not machine error. Okay, so we'll see. But all right, so that, I think that's all the images. Let's go back into here. Oh, you know what? I had a few images in the beginning of this set that I didn't quite edit yet. So there was just a few here. Let's just jump back in real quick. Edit these. And keeping it. Videographer there on the left. All right. Paige is excited. This is gonna be great. Before I do it, I just want to make sure that everything is consistent too. So we'll that'll look in a second. All right. Black and white for sure. I mean, even when I just hover over the black and white, it's already better. So that's gonna be a black and white image. So I'm like not that concerned about it, but let's make sure this has the line profile on. All right, I think that's it. Let's make sure every single one of these anchors is edited. So there's 146 anchors. All right. Hate to interrupt your flow, but could you quickly tell me what preset you apply very first thing and which profile you use? I want to try the exact edits on a few of my wedding photos later today. Yeah, okay, great question. Yes, let me find a portrait for you. Yeah, we'll use this one here. Okay, so what I've kind of done, Matt, is I've messed around with the they're kind of an amalgamation of both the profile and my preset. Obviously my preset that I apply is going to just be, it's going to be slightly different than what the preset actually is, but I think the one that I based these edits off of was in my natural pre-made here. Likely it's going to be Filmic Shadows or Filmic Shadows 2. Probably Filmic Shadows. All right. I think that's the one that I was using. So I'd apply that preset first, and then after you have the profiles installed, you're going to want to come up to come to the profiles, and I'm using the Portra 400 VC +1 normal frontier. that's the profile I'm using. Yes, that's the profile I'm using. And I have that amount turned down to like 86. So it's not at a full 100. That's what it looks like at a full 100. And it's just like a very, very subtle change. But I hope that helps. I hope that clarifies what I'm using there. So yeah, Filmic Shadows is the preset, and then after that's applied, you go in and change the profile to whichever one you want. I'm using the Portra 400 VC +1 normal frontier. There's also a +1 normal Noritsu. The frontier and the Noritsu are the scanners used to scan these profiles in, or the film stock essentially into the computer. So I'm using the frontier, but you can see in here on the right hand side all of the different previews of how it's going to look. You can hover your mouse over top and see how it's going to turn out, which is really great. So you get a pre-visualization of everything. But all right, let's give this a run through, guys. Let's give it a go. Okay, so I'm selecting all of my images here, making sure that the 3-star is tagged. Start at the top. I'm going to hit Command A. 146 selected. We're going to run up to File, down to Plugin Extras, Batch.AI. Oh no, is there a new plugin download? Let's see. I may have to install this again. So give me a quick second while we do this here. Let me go back to this, and we will download and install Batch. They pump out updates all the time, which is so great. But at the same time, I'm also like, oh man, now I have to update my Batch. So I'm gonna go and delete the old one. The new one is here. Drag that in Documents. Okay, we're gonna close that. All right, so if you're wondering how to install Batch, it's really, really simple. File, Plugin Manager, click on Add. You're gonna go find the folder that you need to install, the folder you just downloaded. This is right here in my documents, the Batch.ai. All I'm doing is clicking Add Plugin. You can see the version 2.0.4. Make sure that Reload Plugin on each export is checked, and then you can click Done, and it is as easy as that. I realize I'm not screen sharing as I say all that, so I do apologize. But yes, that's it. There's a guide. I promise there's a guide. It's super, super simple to use. Okay, so now we're back here in Lightroom. Let's give this a go. I don't think I need to restart my... Yeah, okay, great. I don't need to restart. Awesome. So once you're in here, if you don't see this screen, you're going to want to make sure that you sign in first. You selected 0 photos and 146 anchors. I don't know if that's correct. Let's try this again. Sean Hawkins is going to watch this later and be like, dude, what were you doing? Sean is the owner of Batch. He's the guy who founded Batch. Here, I'm just to be safe, I'm going to restart Lightroom. Just don't want to get a little error here while we do this. Anyway, Paige is asking, do I take out all the photos from Lightroom once you're done editing? Can you clarify this, Paige? As in, like, do I remove all the photos from this catalog specifically? Is that what you're asking? All right, let's try this again. Definitions, Batch.ai. All right, still says 0 photos and 146 anchors. I feel like it should say 146 photos and 146 anchors, but we're gonna just give it a go. Oh, I'm dumb. I'm sorry, guys. Again, my brain is really scattered. I need to select all of the photos. That would be the mistake. So don't do what I just did. Make sure you have all of the photos selected. You want all of your anchors selected and all of the photos it needs to edit. So that's why that was the mistake. I'm actually glad that happened so that you don't make that mistake too. Make sure that you select every photo inside of Lightroom. So 1004 photos are being edited. 146 anchors are already edited and will run Batch. The anchor marker is 3 stars. I'm not going to do any of these because I haven't edited any black and white. I'm not doing any subject or sky masking, no brush gradients. I'm not going to do any auto straightening. So it is 2:30 on the dot. We're going to hit run. We're going to see how long this takes. Real time. You'll get to see. My Lightroom has like 30,000 photos when I open it up, and yours says 1,100. How do you get to just that catalog? Okay, so I make a new catalog, Lightroom catalog, for every single wedding. Every single shoot I do has its own catalog, so I'm not constantly bringing photos into a single catalog because I don't want to risk that catalog becoming damaged. And I found that just starting a new catalog for each wedding means that it just runs a little bit quicker for me, and I don't have to run into the issue of, oh, I have all these other shoots in here. So I create a new catalog for every single shoot, every single wedding that I do, and the only photos in that catalog are from that shoot, from that wedding. that keeps things really organized for me, because if I need to go back, let's say for instance, Grace and Vince see their photos and they're like, hey, any way you can Photoshop this out, or you can tweak this, or you can turn this image black and white as well, then we can easily find that image. We can easily find that catalog, all those things. The way to do that is when you open up Lightroom, just head up to File, click New Catalog, and then save the image. Okay, so that took 1 minute, guys. It's 2:30. It processed 1,004 images. Let's return to Lightroom. We'll see how it did. Okay, that is insane, like way faster. Last time I edited in March, a full wedding, it took I think about 20 minutes to get through all of it. And so in just like a month and a half, it did all that. Obviously you can see the shoes here and the earrings here. It kind of messed up on a bit, but I mean, hey, if that's the extent of it, and here we go. Now we're coming down to some stuff here that might have a few mistakes here, but overall, and they're loading in. So some of these, as I scroll through, it is updating, but it just edited 1,000 images in a minute. That is insane. And like I said, it takes a second for it to load in. But even if I just went into the metadata, let's go down to the metadata and we'll just go camera by camera here. Here we go. Okay. So of course, there's still going to be some things that I need to adjust. I need to tweak. But overall, it has edited these photos for me. This isn't like a batch sync. This isn't, and I selected fewer images than I probably should have. I probably should have selected a few more. I probably should have selected around 200. But overall, I think that these all match pretty well. At least the ones that are loading in here for me. It takes a little bit for it to process all in here. Page is asking, all my photos are organized in the collection section, so they aren't all just in one big folder. Right, but you're still using one Lightroom catalog, I think, for like all of your shoots. So they're here in the collections, right, in the catalog section here. I physically will make a new catalog. So I'll go up to File, New Catalog in this, and then I'll import images in to this specific catalog. So it's only pulling from one source folder, if that makes sense. It's kind of hard to explain, I guess. I guess there's so many different ways to do the same thing, but if you were to go into like our Finder window and find like our folder that says Lightroom catalogs, there'd be like a ton of different Lightroom catalogs. Yeah, so number 71 is a bit blue. It is needing a little bit of love for sure. So I selected too few images, I think, to have batch pull from. I think I needed to select probably another 50 images or so, or I needed to tag different images as my anchors. This is still like a little bit of a learning process for me, but overall, I mean, look how consistent these are. I only edited one image from this section. That's pretty incredible. Yeah, super, super awesome. So we're just gonna keep scrolling through here and hopefully we can, all of these will load up. I mean, that's amazing. Super awesome. Okay, so let's go back up to the top here. We'll click none and we'll just start here at the top. And we'll just go image by image now. Like that in black and white more. Just keep on going. Sometimes I might need to decrease exposure a little bit. For certain photos, like I may not duplicate for black and white. Sometimes I will, sometimes I won't. Just depends on what the moment is. This one in particular, I can't decide if I like better in black and white or in color. I may need to adjust the contrast and things like that too, but these ones in front of the window are difficult because That's itself. It's just tricky. I don't necessarily love shooting dresses in windows. And because of this LED flicker, the light is changing constantly in a sense. That's pretty good. Crop this up. And so there are times where, yeah, I'm gonna have to copy that. Let's tweak it a little bit, but it gets me to like the right starting point, thankfully, is what it's doing. It's giving me like a really great starting point to edit from. This will probably be nice in black and white as well. We'll just pump up the contrast and highlights a bit. No, totally good. Matt, you're great. No worries. Definitely don't feel like being judged or anything like that. But yeah, it's the reason that they turned out blue, and we're going to come up to them here in a second, is because I think Batch probably just read the image wrong, the tag incorrectly. It's just what happens, you know. I probably, again, selected too few images, and so I think that was a factor. Next time I'll tag a little bit more. I was just trying to see, you know, how much can I get away with here? Fewest amount of tags, fewest amount of images I have to edit for my anchors. This is going to be done as a black and white. That makes sense anyway. Yeah, so I don't know where the disconnect happened, but this, and this should all be pretty much the same. So we'll just sync that. And that looks pretty good. So they're very easy fixes. Something does go wrong. Again, these are going to be better in black and white. I'm probably not even going to give this one in color because I don't think she's going to be like, hey, I need a photo of my sister in color instead of black and white. It gets rid of all of the like crazy colors in this room. Like there's just so much color trying to draw my eye away from the person that you want your eye to go to, and black and white really just makes it, just simplifies it. And this will be better in black and white. You're going to see a lot of these are going to turn. Black and white. I need to tweak this preset because it's a little too flat for me. So we're just going to actually copy the preset. Good. That looks good. So I mean, Batch did its job. It's a really great plugin because I didn't touch this photo. You don't have to touch this photo. There's nothing I have to do to that. Like, that's perfect. That's perfectly edited. This, on the other hand, the white balance is a little off. Again, we were going to make this black and white anyway, so it doesn't really matter all that much. But that looks great. So with that. And with this, that was going to go black and white anyway. Yeah, when there's so much stuff in the getting ready space like this, I'm just like, yeah, these are going to be black and white. It's just going to be so much better. What do you guys prefer, black and white or color in your images? These are looking a little blue here. I probably didn't tag a solid anchor for this lighting situation, this lighting scenario here. Lesson learned. Next time I need to tag more images and edit more anchors. That's a great question, Matt. So how would I fix a white balance that's like that off? I don't think I can. So it was shot like that, but here's what it ended up looking like. Right? It was like way up here. Here, hang on. I'll add the preset. I'll show you how I'd fix it. This is kind of where it was. Right? This is pretty much where that image was. The way I'd go about fixing this is first, I just want to make sure my exposures are okay, right? And then the reason that this is so off is because of this white balance. It's the temp and the tint here. And so you can see on the slider here, if I drag it left, it's going to be colder. If I drag it right, it's going to be warmer. So pretty much all I want to do is I just want to drag it to the left. If I'm seeing it's too warm, I'm just going to drag to the left until I find like the right colored skin tones. And then as for tint, I can really looking at a lot of this white here and making sure like it doesn't become how purple that becomes or how green it becomes. It looks a little sickly. So honestly, like a -5 in tint looks good, but so I'm just kind of tweaking it until like her skin looks normal, until the space in general looks normal. I hope that makes sense as to how to fix really awful like white balance issues. It's all going to be right here in the temp and the tint in the white balance section. And make sure like you're shooting raw too, because you'll have an easier time fixing this if you're in raw. But this was a black and white photo, so we're going to go back to that. And this was a sweet little moment here too. Sir. It was nice having like a few bridesmaids who were pregnant, because Steph didn't feel like completely alone on the wedding day. There was a few pregnant bridesmaids. And all of a sudden, I think what happened here was like they were going over some of these documents, and all of a sudden Paige said, "Hey, they're kicking," and Mom tried to feel the baby kick. So keep your eyes open for moments like that. You never know when they're gonna happen. We redid, I restaged some of Vince getting ready here, because he showed up already dressed to the venue, and needed those getting ready photos to happen. And we didn't drive all the way out to the hotel that he was at. We just kind of staged them in front of the best light and all that. So you gotta play it by ear. I've tried the eyedropper tool before, but it seems to never work like I wanted to. Yeah, the eyedropper tool needs to really happen on like the proper surface. And so if you're using the eyedropper on something that isn't actually true white, then it is going to factor in like the color of the shirt. Because sometimes these shirts aren't actually white. This shirt could be like a champagne colored shirt or something like that. Sometimes the grooms don't wear like exactly white shirts. So be careful of whatever you're using to use the eyedropper tool on, if that makes sense. Will play into final color of that image. Yeah, I don't need that image. It's not a great photo. Now we're going to start speeding things up a little bit here. See, his hands are a little bit blurry, but I actually liked the blur. It added motion to adding like to him putting on that button and buttoning that button up. Not too crazy with these edits here. I'm trying to keep it simple. You can see I underexposed on this guy here a bit, and Batch wasn't a fan of that. So this room was hard. There was like one light in the middle of the room. You can see is what's causing this light on Vince's face here. And then we moved into a different spot, so that works better there. Post, we'll make this black and white. All right. It's a little less distracting, I think. I'm such a sucker for black and white images and like getting ready spaces. It just, it's better to me. This was my anchor edit, I think. Ooh, crooked. And so again, Batch.AI isn't some magic machine. Like it's best if you treat it as an outsourced editor that will edit your photos much quicker for you. We used to outsource to a private editor, and she was great, but you know, she has her own life and she has other clients she's working for and other weddings that she's shooting on her own for her own business. And so the whole process ended up taking like 2 weeks to get photos back from her, which is still great, by the way. But when you have a program like Batch Here that can do it in a minute, I mean, it gets rid of the need for outsourced editors. You can do it all on your own, as long as you're tagging the images the way you're supposed to. This might be better in black and white too. Anything that's like a laughing moment or like tears or anything like that, anything emotional, just is going to look great in black and white. It will look better in black and white. Wrong? Maybe it just needs to be contrasty. Yeah, I don't know how to do that. Let's go back to color. That mimosa looks really delicious right now. Yeah, black and white it is. And like I mentioned before, sometimes I'll give them duplicates, sometimes I won't. It depends on the moment. It's looking a little green to me too, so we'll just magenta. Very excited for Julia's wedding here in October. Engagement session was super fun. A lot of fun. Okay, so I think let's just put this. And we'll crop in even more. And there's no like right or wrong. It's just all personal preference, so yeah. I just think that the black and white just looks a little bit cleaner, looks a little bit classier. I'm thrilled with how these are turning out, though. Ask, how long does it typically take you guys to get through a full wedding, as far as editing goes? Guess what's your biggest struggle or biggest hurdle with all of that? I'm also the type of person that feels like I need to adjust something in every photo or else it's not correct, but that's just me being a little nitpicky, I think. Procrastination. Good answer. But what's the reason you procrastinate, Paige, on getting to the edits? Is it just like lack of confidence in editing, or is it just like you just don't enjoy the editing process? Like, what do you think it is that causes that procrastination? Probably what I should have edited the base anchor anyway. Let's edit. All right, let's see if we can fix this now. Linear gradient. Here's my thought. If I try and match the middle gradient, I wonder if... Actually... Yes, I think that's the way to go. Okay. Duplicate. Let's spin this around. That looks pretty consistent as far as color and everything goes, right? Now we'll bring down temperature in the main. Oh, we're almost there. Okay. Let's go back in here. Drag that down a bit, drag this up a bit. I think that worked pretty well. All right. I also probably could have just fixed it with turning it black and white. Might have done the trick too. Yeah. We'll give them both. In 13 hours editing my last wedding, it was miserable. And Paige says, culling, I hate culling. Yeah, it's... Matt, it does take a while to learn how to do it quickly. I found the best way to edit quickly is to get it right in camera. And if you can get it pretty close in camera, the edit will go a lot faster because you won't have as much peak. And your photos will be consistent in each lighting scenario. So that's what I found works best for us. We had a few options as far where we could get her into her dress, and we decided here because of the window light. I think it was the right option. The other option was to do it in the getting ready space, in that room that you've seen hair and makeup happening in, and she wanted to do a reveal with her girls, so we were like, well, let's just take you out into the staircase and have you do it out there, because then you can you will have better light, and then you can walk in and show them the dress. So always just trying to find the best lighting scenario in each getting ready room to get the best images. Lighting really makes a difference, I think, for us. This is great. A little bit cold, so we're gonna take this image here. White balance is the same. Why does this look so much colder? Good. The black and white. I keep saying it, but I don't know what it does. It just makes them look more magical. Paige, what is it about culling that you hate? It's just the amount of time it takes to get through it. I pulled these images yesterday and again, this isn't to brag, but like an hour and a half, maybe I got through 4,000 images, culled it down to 1,100. Granted, you have a baby. I do not have a baby yet, so that might change things. But for me, again, I don't think, I just kind of feel things out. So if the photo feels right, if I like the photo at all, I'll keep it. If I'm not feeling the photo at all, I'll get rid of it. So it's much more like emotion based or feeling based than it is. I don't sit there and go back and forth for 5 minutes on a single set of images. It's just like, do I like it or not? And if I don't like it, then I don't keep it. Or if I think my client will like it, I will keep it. And I probably keep more than I should, but this all looks awesome. This is definitely a black and white picture. Crop this sucker down to these three here. And again, black and white. It's going to pull out the emotion a little bit more, I think. Bump that contrast. There we go. Yeah, Ollie is super clingy, getting into stuff, so it's hard to do stuff when he's up. Yeah, it's hard, right? I mean, I would imagine having a kid at home makes it really, really difficult to get things done. Thankfully, you know, we're both in our business together and we can kind of tag team, you know, the kid when he gets here. But yeah, I can totally imagine how having a kid can derail the editing time for sure. Yeah, most of these were taken at 2.8 or higher, so like 1.4 to 2.8. If it's really dark, it may be at 1.4. Just completely depends on the location. But we try and shoot as wide open as we can. 2.8 is pretty good because, I mean, we're getting a lot of, you know, of the face in focus, depending on how close we are to the subject. So a lot of the times we're at 2.8, unless creatively we're trying to do something a little bit different. This photo is, again, just going to be better in black and white. I really just, hang on, we're just going to update this. There we go. All right, you can see that actually our photos are a little bit out of sync here, so we may need to sync my cameras before I export these out. But crop Allie, yeah, right. All right, so this is my anchor image from this set. I mean, it's exact. Like it looks so good. Batch did a great job. Nothing I can do about these rain boots and bag down there. It's just the nature of getting ready rooms. It's always dirty. Always a little bit of clutter. And we'll get rid of this one. Lost all the contrast. What happened? Yeah, we'll get rid of this one too. Again, just going through, cropping, making sure, you know, I crop myself out of these images. They don't need me in there. This one again is going to be better in black and white, I think. Yes, I am that guy that references Mighty Ducks for the flying V pose. Yeah. Yeah, they all get excited when I say, you know, have you seen Mighty Ducks? And they, the flying V? Heck yeah. I think I need this one here. I updated that. At this point now I'm going through and saying like, I don't need this photo, or I don't need this photo. This is too similar to another moment, or we have a better moment that we can use. So we'll delete photos that have already been edited or tagged or selected. We did have to bustle her to go outside because it was just so wet. Rain was puddles, and we didn't want the bottom of her dress to get all wet. So for these portraits, we did bustle her. Preston asked, might have missed it, but how did Batch.AI work compared to other AI software? So I haven't actually used any other AI software. I've only seen how it works, like from a secondhand perspective and from what I've heard from other people. And so Batch, I mean, it just went through all of these in a single minute, which I believe is faster than any other AI editing software out there. So it went very fast, and it got a lot of these correct. I mean, there's going to be a lot that I don't have to even touch. I mean, I probably will touch them because I'm a little bit too nitpicky about each thing. Like, here's my anchor, and then here's like the rest of these images. Anything that you don't see 3-starred is Batch's edits. Like all I got to do is crop. It's awesome. It's one less thing to focus on. You know, I don't have to worry about trying to get the entire raw image to look good. I just got to make sure that, you know, the base edit that Batch is pretty much done for me is as good as it's going to get, you know, like this sees a little out of focus here. So I'm probably going to turn this to black and white. Autofocus shots are a little more forgiving in black and white than they are in color. And Preston, I mentioned probably tagged too few images for Batch to edit from. Probably could have selected another 50 or so to edit, and it would have been like right there on the money, maybe a little bit less than 50. Or I could have tagged different images. So this is still a learning process for me a little bit on which images I should tag to get the best outcome. Considering I only edited 140 images, I did pretty good. I love that. It's great. Like I didn't edit this at all. This is all Batch right here. Amazing. And our cameras are out of sync a little bit. I did not sync the timing up before we did Batch, and that may have been another problem too. My brother's in here, guys. Unless there's another guy named Jacob Blizzard, but what's up, man? What else makes me decide to put photos of black and white? Yeah, unless this is a different Jacob Blizzard, which would be a crazy thing. So Jacob Blizzard, are you the one that's related to me? That's really what I need to ask. And if not, that's a crazy coincidence. A reason to put something in black and white would be to emphasize an emotional moment and draw and draw the focus directly to the couple. Instead of like all of the competing factors of color and things like that, you know. So again, I use black and white a lot in getting ready rooms because there's just a lot of different colors going on, a lot of different patterns, a lot of different colors, a lot of different not so great looking things in these getting ready spaces. And black and white will focus your attention directly to the person you're trying to bring the attention to. I love the umbrella. It looks so good. Sometimes things don't go perfect on your wedding day, but the imperfections make for really great photos. Camera's blacked out. You know what that means? That means my battery died. So hang tight. Let's see. Can you see me now? Let's see. It looks like it might need to be. There we go. Okay. Let me know if that's too bright. Thanks for letting me know, y'all. I was waiting for it to die. I don't actually know how much of it. I don't know how much of it charged. All right. Yeah. This new battery has a. No, the new battery has 100%, so we should totally be good. The face is back. Look how great AI editing all these. Amazing. Through these now. You know, a lot of the photos before this were just in so many different lighting conditions, different lighting scenarios that it took a while to like make sure everything looked consistent and even and, you know, the same. And now that we're outside in very flat, consistent, overcast, cloudy lighting, this is going to go way, way faster. So that's awesome. It's cute. Yeah, black and white it is. So like, here's one of those moments, Jacob, where like, you know, this is a great photo in color, but I actually think that the joy that she's feeling is going to be exaggerated even more in black and white. Like this just feels more, I don't know, joyful or emotional in that black and white context. There was nothing wrong with the color image, but I just think the black and white pulls out the emotion more. Great. A little bit bright. Yeah, I needed just a little batch to edit from. But, you know, I don't have to adjust anything except for the exposure slider, which is so awesome. I'm just hitting up and down. Sorry, I'm just hitting plus or minus on my keyboard to adjust the exposure. Little trick, if you want to be able to adjust one of these sliders just with a plus or minus key, all you got to do is click on the word that you want to be able to adjust with that plus or minus key, and it'll turn it into a hotkey. So I normally have that set to exposure, and that does the trick for me. So bam, amazing. Were just so easy to photograph. Like they just naturally did things, and it like just looked great. There we go. So you're seeing a lot of steps photos first. Her camera must have been ahead of me as far as timing goes. Yeah, over there on the right. Got her in frame. I love that. That's an amazing photo. So black and white, and it still looks good. So we'll duplicate it. That looks great. Cut off his foot there. I should have tilted down a little bit more to get his foot into frame, but no big deal. You guys ever shot a wedding in the rain? Let me know. Go to the weekend. Fingers crossed that the weather gets better. We're still quite a ways away, so fingers crossed we won't be shooting a wedding again in the rain. Giant wind gust came in. You could see what it's doing to this umbrella. It like completely just messed up like it was like a sail. All of a sudden they had this umbrella flying all over the place, and my autofocus missed the face and went for the flowers, but still worth keeping. Crop stuff out of there a bit. Duplicate for black and white. We had one in September last year, and it was raining until the reception. What did you do for photos, Paige? Did you have them inside? Did they have umbrellas and you took them outside? How did it all work? I didn't even have to crop any of those. Flying through here now. Yeah, always have an umbrella living in the car for sure. We keep about I think we probably had 5 or 6 umbrellas in the car. One of them was a bubble umbrella similar to this, and the rest were like flat white umbrellas. And so you can bet your bottom we're gonna have to use them at some point. That's for sure. What a term, Steph says. I've been listening to your live stream, lady, way too often. Steph watches these like Southern women make these cups or something, and they have these crazy like sayings all the time. I'm just like, not more. So I'm like waiting for them. I'm not gonna talk about the private summer. Oh man, they have these sayings and they're hilarious. Paige said we had some covered areas that I could put them under outside, so I still had natural lighting, and they also had umbrellas at the venue. Yeah, that's so great. Like if the venue has some kind of rain backup plan, oh my gosh, that makes a world of difference for the bride, the couple, the photographer. My goodness, it makes a world of difference for everybody, because I mean this space didn't really have a decent backup space. Like it's just you're inside or that's it. That's all you got. If it's raining, you're inside. I really wish more venues had spaces outside that, allowed photographers and the couple to go out and shoot and get the photos they want. But this place was pretty old, like it's just an old venue, and so nothing really you could do other than like creating a space in the parking lot for like a tented area, which would have been really nice. But I love this. I'm actually gonna duplicate it again and crop even closer. Castle venue, so it had outdoor corridors, so it was nice. Yeah, that's great. Yeah, when you come across a venue that has some rain options, you're in a good spot. Always a stressor when you get to a venue and it's raining and you're like, I don't know when I'm gonna take them. Don't know. That's how it's gonna be this weekend if it rains. So I'm not sure where we're gonna take them, what we're gonna do with them. It becomes a whole another level of stress when we do photo and video, because we have to shoot video of the two of them together. Like at least with photo, like we can take them to like one good spot, 2 good spots inside, set up some flashes, and get something pretty good, and we don't have to get like a 1,000,001 photos of them. But for video, I need enough video to be able to tell the full story. Sometimes it's hard to get enough video. Hey, there's me in the bushes there. Batch did a great job. Already over a quarter of the way there. And we should be moving even faster the further we get along here. The getting ready, I feel like is the part that always takes the longest adjusting, because there's so many different lighting scenarios. We'll keep this one and put it in black and white. you guys got going on the rest of the day? I'll probably stay online here until about 4 o'clock. If I don't finish the wedding, I'll finish it up tomorrow most likely, and on the blog. But we got to meet someone at home around 4:45ish, so I'll be out of here around 4. But what do you guys have going on the rest of the day? And actually, let me know where you're from too. I'd love to know, where you're watching from and how many people are in this little live stream here. It started off with around 20, and obviously it's dwindled down to about 10 here. But we've been going for 24 at one point. That's great. I mean, hey, two and a half hours we're going on, so I don't expect people to stick around for the entire thing. But for those of you who have been here since the beginning, thank you guys so much. You guys are awesome. These colors are pretty, so pretty. They're beautiful. Love the dresses. So classic. Germany? Get out of here, dude. That's so awesome. Oh, we are international today, people. We're international. That's awesome. Preston said he's editing a Boba Fett miniature photograph at the moment. Preston, you're gonna have to send me a photo of whatever that is. That's awesome. Preston, did you like the Boba Fett series? I'm assuming you watched it. If you didn't, then shame on you. But let me know. I would love to talk. We're gonna talk Star Wars at that wedding in July. Says I have final details call with my May 20th wedding. Awesome. I have one of those on later this week too. Tampa, Florida here, still editing anchor images. We'll be using Batch.AI today. Yes, awesome, Aaron. Let me know how it goes, and if you have any questions about how to use it, Aaron, please feel free to DM me or something. Batch is also really, really good at responding. So if you need a DM Batch with a question, they will respond to you pretty quick. They are really great at doing that. Sean has been very responsive, and his team has been very responsive. Anytime I've had a question or even just contacted them, about anything, they've been really, really great to work with. So there's no like sponsorship post by them, by the way. Like, this is all just my personal preference. So if you are wondering if there is any sort of sponsorship or anything like that, there isn't. I do get a referral kickback if you sign up using the link in the description for Batch. But that is all up to you guys if you want to do that or not. But yeah, so I personally just plug Batch because I love using it. I think it's great. It's a way to stay in control of your images because with some other AI editing software, you end up uploading like a profile, and of course you can upload and update that profile as you continue editing with it, but it's going to pretty much take your profile and it's just gonna plug it into the next edit that you want to do. So you don't get to specify how you want this specific shoot to be edited. I mean, I guess you can make multiple profiles, but every wedding is so different. Every shoot is so different for me that I want to be in control of these edits. I don't want a machine doing all the work for me. I want to maintain the creative control. So, Preston, you loved the Boba Fett show. I really, really enjoyed it as well. I had some issues with storytelling and structure and stuff like that, but that's just me again being a little nitpicky when it comes to film stuff. I am definitely bit of a critic for sure, but I really enjoyed it, man. I mean, how do you complain? You're getting Boba Fett on screen for episodes. It's fun. It's awesome. Really, really, really looking forward to Kenobi. Seriously, cannot wait. Seriously, cannot wait. It's gonna be dope. Paige saying I have another call on Friday for the May 21st wedding. Oh, you got a double header. Oh my gosh, 3.5 hours from each other. I've never had double headers like that far apart, that far away from each other. But we've done double headers that have been almost 3 hours away, and that's been a lot of driving, a lot of work. I'm gonna come back to these red ones later and we'll fix the eyes and all that. Time through all of these quick as I can first. Color. You're not doing individuals of each bridesmaid or each groomsman with the bride or the groom, please start doing so. We see these photos posted all the time on Instagram, on Facebook for like happy birthdays or big life moments, things like that. Definitely make sure you're taking these photos. These are easy to, kind of forget about. The only reason I'm having to tweak these so much is because my anchor edit was bad. So I've definitely learned a lesson here that I need to either edit a little bit better or edit a few more photos because they are a little bit dark here. But again, batches, it's getting better every single week, every single month. I mean, you saw I had to download an update today. So they're constantly improving things. And so I expect, heck, this is their first season doing this. I would expect that in 6 months, this thing is going to be so awesome and like flawless. It's still pretty much flawless. This is use your error. Aaron says she watched the making of documentary on Disney Plus. It was great. Still mind blown that they brought back Ewan McGregor to reprise his role 20 years later. The man doesn't age. Ewan McGregor is just flat out awesome. And I am so excited for that show. Our words just kind of, it spans so many generations. And so like when my dad thinks of Obi-Wan, right, he pictures Alec Guinness from the original trilogy. To me, yeah, Alec Guinness is Obi-Wan, but in my head, like growing up on the schools as I was a kid, Ewan McGregor is definitely the Obi-Wan I picture when I the black and white image for sure. Yeah, very excited for him to be back. I'm really looking forward to the Ahsoka show. Ahsoka's like hands down, I think my favorite Star Wars character. And so they started a production on that show yesterday, I believe. Posted about it. So very excited about that. If you haven't watched the Rebels animated series, check that out on Disney Plus. That's a great show. The first season might be a little bit tough for some people to get through because it is a little bit slow, but once it gets going, those are some of the best characters in Star Wars, hands down. That's a great show, and that's going to tie directly into their Star Wars stuff coming up. But anyway, I started to nerd out on all of you guys, but love Star Wars here. Yeah, we are moving right along. Still a little tedious because, right, like I'm still just going in and cropping and all that stuff, but all I have to do is crop. I don't got to actually edit. It's amazing. Hey, what's going on, Callie? Thanks for being here. Can't go wrong with a blue tux or a blue suit. They just look so good. I am doing awesome. I'm a little hungry because I haven't eaten, and I have a giant like glazed coffee roll here that I dare not dig into on a live stream, or else I would embarrass myself. So I'm gonna chow down on this afterwards, but I'm a little hungry, but doing really well. How are you? We're hitting busy season here, so I'm gonna be tired. That will be my answer in like a week or two. The answer will be tired. I'm tired. This is a little too crude. Eat it now, do it. No, I can't do it. I won't. It'll just be like shoving the whole thing in my mouth in like 2 bites. I know that probably sounds very entertaining to a lot of you, but you can screenshot things on YouTube, and this will be replayed. So I dare not do it. Maybe another time. Maybe another time. Oh, shame. I have a little bit of shame. A tad bit of shame. Plus, I feel like I need to fill the awkward silence of me having food in my mouth, so I just end up talking like there's food in my mouth. It'd be no good. Not a good look. Not a good look for me. Alright. I am super thrilled with these. These are turning out really awesome. Oh no, you've COVID. So COVID just swept through pretty much all of Steph's family, and Steph had it a couple weeks ago. I am the only one who did not get it of like that whole family. Somehow it jumped right over me and went to everybody else. So if I did have it, I was asymptomatic, but man, yeah, she was down and out for a little while, and that was a whole thing. So I know more and more people are getting it now, but thankfully it seems like it's much milder than it was 2 years ago, thankfully. But speedy recovery, well wishes to you. Hopefully you feel much better later tonight or tomorrow. It's bound to happen to me eventually. I'm sure at some point I will be hit with it. Just waiting for that to happen. Black and white. I think this one here. Yeah, and I'm a baby when I get sick, so I'm pretty sure I'm pretty sure Steph would get rid of me because I just complain the whole time. I'm so terrible. Can't handle headaches. I'm awful. All right, so this is super hazy because we just came in from outside, but I really dig the look. Well, you are a man. That's how we are. That is definitely how we are. We are giant babies when we get sick. We just can't handle it. We can't handle it. I got a cold. Nope. Steph will like come to work all the time with like migraines and like all of that, and I'm like, if I have a migraine, I've had a migraine once. I'm pretty sure I cried a little bit because I was really emotional, and I was down out on the couch. I couldn't function. I couldn't do anything. I couldn't even really like watch something because my brain just couldn't process. And she has migraines pretty frequently. Thankfully, with the pregnancy, she's been like much more like infrequent. Yeah, how do you do this? Like this is terrible. Can't handle it. Yeah, we were all babies when it comes to getting sick. Women are definitely stronger than men. I will say it here. I am. No shame there. The camera a little too bright, guys. The light is shifting in this space, and I just want to make sure that. There we go. Okay, so this is a duplicate. Women live longer. That's the reason. Men just give up. It is much easier to give up, that's for sure. And your rates. Did you know if you hit F on your keyboard, it'll go to full screen mode? I learned that accidentally. Yeah, I'm super thrilled. We got so many portraits with them, considering how rainy it was. Yeah. Rainy, but it happened. No, Callie has COVID, and I was just sharing that. Much your whole side of the family just got over it, and that you had it a little while ago, and that yeah. All right, for those of you who can't hear Steph behind me, she's asking if I was talking about being sick. Yeah, she doesn't have a microphone. We should just get to a microphone. You are hilarious. You are indeed hilarious. I don't get to quote Thor Ragnarok very often in the real world, so I'll take advantage when I can. And if I have to change a single word. Nice job shooting through the tree here and framing them. That's great. Oh, really?
Yeah,
That's hilarious. On this one here, yeah, to get it down in the front at the bottom of the frame.
Yeah, I'm like, I need this hefty branch.
Yeah, I didn't realize you could pull that tree down. I'm gonna be real. No trees were harmed. It went right back up. Gonna duplicate. And right. Contrasting. Do I need to change the song? Has it been playing the same song this whole time? Would you guys like a new song? It's been playing the same music this entire time. Let me see if I can change the song here. I'm so sorry. So in StreamYard, there's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's 8 tracks I can choose from. So let me choose. This one's called Feeding the Ducks. I don't really know how it sounds because I can't really hear it, but you let me know if you love it or hate it. Is this one okay? Okay. I'm just like, I wish I could put some Beastie Boys on. I'd probably get flagged for copyright infringement. YouTube was a little bit more forgiving with their music policy. You better believe we would just have some beats going. But I'm trying to Get flagged. We're the ducks. Eating you guys. A little dramatic. I asked Grace here to give me a serious face. She had to get into character. She's like the most smiley person. You don't think so? You don't think she's gonna like it? I know she has a great smile, but we'll give her a little dramatic. You can pull it off. I think she looks great. But her smile is so great. It's actually a really good way to get a natural smile from somebody is if you tell them to give you a serious face. And then when they can't do it, or if they have trouble doing it, tell them to just like, and now you can smile as big as you can. And they end up giving you this. That's exactly what I said to her. So. Awesome. Thanks for being here, Trent. Trenton. Sorry, Trenton. I read the name a little too quick. Glad you're here, man. That's the best. It's just like get and chill here. This is great. Are you editing a wedding as well? Weighing. Is it a weird song? Should I switch the song? What does it sound like? Yeah, find out. I'm gonna turn this up a little bit. Oh, see, now we got a little bit of bleed there, but oh yeah. Okay. It's a little like sci-fi-y.
Yeah. Can I have it back?
Yeah, you can take it back. Yeah, it sounds a little futuristic, doesn't it? If at any point you're like, change music, let me know. But Callie seems to like it, so yeah. Trenton is editing a portrait session. Nice. What's the portrait session of specifically? Is it like a senior session or like a headshot session or anything? Like a specified portrait session or just a generic? I wish we did more portrait sessions. We just do so many weddings and I feel so like I don't have time to do other stuff. Or like I'm too tired to go out and shoot. We talked about that earlier a little bit in the live stream here, but did a portrait shoot last year. There's 2 videos on my channel behind the scenes from it. Did a shoot with my friend Vanessa for this like light company. Essentially sent me this light to test out. And we went and did some like cinematic like night portraits, and like that was fun because it was like low key and like something I don't do often, and it was cool to flex those muscles. But I'm definitely, it's harder for me to pose a single person than it is for me to pose 2 people. Senior sessions like what you're editing it'd be tough. It'd be tough for me, for sure. Yeah, it's family sessions. I don't shoot a lot of those either, but those are always fun, depending on the family, of course, and how many kids are running around. I have a hard time wrangling kids. Photographing kids is a difficult thing. That will probably change after we have a kid, but who knows? Definitely not my forte. Either is newborns. Newborns, I can't do newborns. That is a whole thing on its own. In case you're wondering, no, that car does not bother me at all in the background. Get used to it, yeah. Well, we'll be photographing, I think, a lot of this kid. There's always going to be a camera out, I think. So yeah, and that'll be more enjoyable to shoot because obviously it'll be our own kid, but see, all of these just look so much better in black and white than in color. Like, they just look so much better. Okay, so I'm not even gonna duplicate these for him. They're just better in black and white. This one's pretty good. All right, I'm just gonna be hanging out for another, 12-ish minutes or so, and then we're gonna hop off. But if you have any final questions, now's the time to ask. I'll make sure to let you know when I'm closing down here. But we made it, a little over halfway, and I started editing this wedding at 1 o'clock. So 3 hours, and I've been multitasking with these here. I don't think I copied and pasted. There we go. It's cute. Wondering, I asked him to tickle her, and that's the result. The things I've learned, throughout the years of doing this is that you will get better photos if you give them a prompt and you just put them in a scenario rather than trying to force them to do something. Most of the time, if you just give them a little bit of a prompt to do, then they're gonna give you something better than you could ever create on your own. I think the black and white is in here is gonna look awesome. Can we get any sort of hint to baby's name? Paige is dying to know. I don't even know if there's a hint I could give you. Yeah. Yeah. Well, it would really narrow it down if we gave the first letter, I think. We'll narrow it down. I'm like trying to think of a really obscure hint. We'll think about it, Paige. We'll think about it. Maybe we'll message you separately. Here's your hint. A lot of these I'm duplicating and turning black and white too. They're just they're too good not to. Love this giant painting behind them too. Yeah, my mom looks like she's in shock here. Right? Like, yeah. I wish I was stopped down a little bit more so that she was fully in focus, but not much I can do. We're gonna get rid of that one. That one's better. Well, let me know, guys. Should I do this more often? I mean, seriously, I'm thinking about, like, is this a weekly thing? Because I mean, we're shooting weddings every week. Is this something that I should try and do more frequently? Maybe start it a little bit earlier so I have more time to get through all the edits. I thought we established the baby's name is Obi. That's right. Yeah. That's so right. That's what we'll call him for now. Getting there. We're halfway. I also keep duplicating photos. I'm just making photos for this Lightroom catalog, but you're fine. You hear a robot in the background, people. It's Steph doing something. Oh, you need me to send you a black and white? Really hope they like these photos. I think they will. See, this is a weird color. It's down there. This is her dad. The first time she saw her dad on the day. Family photos should be quick because it's the same lighting scenario. Oh, her eyes are closed here. So heck that. There we go. now it's just we're spinning and cropping. This is great. Cute nephew. I'm sure he gave us a smile the entire time. He just stared straight into my lens. He did love the flashes though. He was obsessed with the flashes going off left and right. I was like, keep looking at the one on my camera, bud. I guess he's looking at the flash to my right. Probably tagged maybe a little too many photos with him, but figured Grace would like him. I'd rather deliver more than less, right? I could go back and crop out an arm here real quick. There we go. I'm gonna finish up the family section here, and then we'll call it. I'm gonna hop off in a minute. Guys, 3 hours, and every photo is technically edited. I'm just doing some minor tweaks now. Batch has run through everything, and by 2:30 every image was edited. Whether it was edited well or not, I can't say, but I would say most of them, I would say probably about 90% of them were like deliverable, other than having to take some crops. I mean, if I was able to shoot perfectly straight and compose perfectly in camera, I mean, I wouldn't have to do anything after Batch runs through it, except for maybe change a couple white balance things, and some minor exposure detail, but able to finish this up tomorrow in under an hour, and be able to deliver very, very soon. And then we'll get a blog tomorrow too for these guys, so they can see a sneak peek and all that. And yeah, Batch just definitely speeds up the process. That's for sure. All right, so there you have it. There is all family. We made it to a 670 images of 1150. There's 1200 images in here right now, but I've duplicated a lot of them to be black and white. So there's a handful in here that are black and white, and they've been added to. But let's go into the library section real quick. And even if I just scroll through, you can see like everything is pretty consistent looking. Colors are all similar. Nothing is really sticking out to me as like, ooh, this looks off, we need to fix that. Everything looks very, very consistent. And so this is what I always do when I'm done editing, is I'll just scroll through, just briefly take a look at things, make sure things look good. Nothing looks out of the ordinary or is sticking out to me as a little off. Even up here in the getting ready section, they all still seem a little bit a little consistent here, so that's good. Let's go down a little bit further past the family. You can see that this hasn't loaded in yet as edited. So as we go through, Batch these should be loading in. You can see there they go. We'll just take a look real quick to see how it did with this section of the ceremony. This is the one downside. This is the one thing I wish that could move a little bit faster, is just like a general overall preview. Well, the images, this is not like a responsibility on Batch's side of things. This is definitely like Lightroom just taking forever, because that's what Lightroom does. But I mean, overall, look how consistent that looks. I didn't touch any of these. The last images I touched was this year, and this year. Like, these look great just at first glance. So yeah, this should be really simple to go through. And if there was even like a better lighting scenario, Batch would have done an even better job. But because there are so many different lighting situations, it takes Batch a little bit more, time maybe to finesse, or it works harder. I don't know. The better the light, I think the easier it is on Batch, the more consistent result you're going to get. But anyway, I hope that this was helpful to you guys. Thank you guys so much for joining, for sticking around. If you've been here since the beginning of the stream, seriously, thank you so much. And let me know in the comments if you think that we should do this like every week, because we have weddings pretty much every weekend. So if you want to hang out for a live editing session, please let me know. Would love to do that. Definitely open to doing that. But yeah, so thank you guys so much for being here. If you have any questions, please let me know. And if you guys want to join a little community of other photographers, I believe there is a link in the description below to join a community. If there's not, I'm going to be adding it. So come back to this video. Is it there? Steph has just confirmed that it is there. You can join that community. It's just a cool place to hang out, ask some questions. We'll be doing some cool stuff in there pretty soon as we get more and more members joining. It's free, so come hang out, and it's just a cool little space for photographers. So a few of you I know are in there already, but would love to have, the more the merrier. So thank you guys for hanging out. If you have any questions, feel free to shoot me a message, leave it in the comments here, or send me a DM on Instagram. And other than that, hope you guys have a great rest of your week, and I will see you guys next time. Take care. Oh, man. Guys, I'm still learning how to use this thing. How do I get rid of this? I'm still here, guys. We're still here. I know. We're still here. We're still here. Okay, now I'm leaving. I'm leaving for real this time. See ya. Bye.